All rise. The United States District Court for the District of Minnesota is now in session. The Honorable Tony Leung presiding.
Please be seated. Welcome everyone to the ceremony, and this is a very special occasion, and certainly it's always a pleasure for me to be part of this celebration, and also it's I hope that it will be a very memorable event for those who are being naturalized today, and for family members and friends who are with them, and especially the kids. It's always good to take some pictures and see, where it all started and things like that, and at least in the citizenship side. So this is a very special occasion for a lot of different reasons, and I'm not going to say too much right now, but I will say more later. But again, I hope this is something that you will remember for a long time, and all those with you will remember for a long time. I do encourage people to take photos because you should have some memories from these things. And so I'm just going to go ahead and start the formal ceremony at this time by asking all of you to stand for our national anthem. Please rise. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to invite Lead Immigration Services Officer Justin Coleman to the podium to present the candidates and to make a motion before the court.
Good afternoon again. For today's ceremony, there are 399 individuals here today who are becoming citizens and are representatives of 65 countries that they have come from to the United States. Today I'm going to read a list of those countries that our individuals here are from. When I call out your country, I ask that you please stand and remain standing. And then I ask that we hold our applause until the end, once everyone is standing, and then we'll have your applause for those. So when I call your country, please stand. All right? Algeria. Azerbaijan. Bangladesh. Burundi, Chile, Cuba, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Haiti, Iran, Ireland, Jamaica, Kosovo, Moldova, Panama, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, Tajikistan, Gambia, Togo, Argentina, Congo, Germany, Kazakhstan, Norway, Pakistan, South Korea, Syria, Thailand, the Bahamas, Turkey, Venezuela, Australia, Djibouti, Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Guyana, Honduras, Iraq, Morocco, Sudan, Cambodia, Eritrea, Ghana, Nepal, Cameroon, Egypt, Ukraine, El Salvador, United Kingdom, People's Republic of China, Nigeria, Canada, Ecuador, Kenya, Laos, India, Philippines, Vietnam, Mexico, Burma, Liberia, Ethiopia, Somalia. Anyone that I may have missed, please stand if we could have everyone applaud. Your Honor, if it pleases the court, the government recommends the oath of allegiance be administered to these 399 applicants for naturalization who have been interviewed and whose applications have been approved. Being as permanent residents of the United States and have resided in the Minneapolis-St. Paul Ministerial District for the required 3-month period. They are persons of good moral character who are attached to the principles of the Constitution and the form of government of the United States. The government recommends the court administer the oath of allegiance as required by law so the applicants may be admitted to citizenship and that the name change request in the petition be granted.
Thank you, Immigration Officer Coleman. Your motion is granted. And at this time, then to formalize the procedures under the law for making you a United States citizens, I will administer an oath at this time. If you could, the people who are being admitted today as United States citizens, if you could follow and just repeat along with me as best you can, the oath of allegiance as required by the law. If you could raise your right hand, please. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law, that I will perform work of national importance under civil direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations. And please be seated. Okay, folks. It's a great pleasure for me to be here, as I indicated before, and congratulations to the folks who just became United States citizens. So, first thing to remember about this country, it's a great country. I think we've officially met all the legal requirements, so you don't even have to be here anymore if you don't want to, other than you want to get your certificate out. But of course, I hope that you will stay and enjoy the rest of the program. This is a very special occasion for me for a lot of different reasons, because a number of years back, the number of years has grown a long time, but so I still have a photo of my family that I want to show. Is that available? Oh yes, there it is. I don't know where. So that's me. Somewhere in there. Anyone guess which one it is? That's me. So, I'm the one between my grandmother's legs. So, I don't remember exactly when the photo was taken, but I think it was in 1963, so it tells you I'm old. But also, if you look at those photos, you can tell right away it probably wasn't taken in this country. Well, that was actually taken in Hong Kong. And so I too am an immigrant. And I too am a naturalized citizen, just like you are today. So I can tell you, my family decided back in the mid to late 60s that, so when I was born, I was actually not born to, a citizen of anywhere. And just to be clear, I have a lot of UK friends, and I'm going to a wedding there in London next year. But I was born a subject of Queen Elizabeth. Actually, I sort of like Queen Elizabeth, though. But anyways, so it's sort of a strange thing to be born a subject of somewhere, not. And I knew we couldn't be citizens for different reasons. And so my parents knew that China would be taking over Hong Kong in 1997. And so they thought, for the good of the, really the kids, that they wanted to leave Hong Kong. And my parents, when my dad arrived in the US, he was 48 years old already, and none of us spoke English. My sister knew some English from reading Beatles song lyrics, and that was about it. And so my dad left he owned a Western tailoring business, Western style suits. So he owned a tailoring business on this big road, if anyone's familiar with Hong Kong. There's this, pretty busy road called Nathan Road. And that road, that's where my dad owned his shop with a number of employees and so forth. So for my parents, it would have been much easier for them to just stay in Hong Kong, and where they spoke the language, knew the culture and everything else. Instead, they'd come over here. And primarily for us, the kids. Now, each of you has your own story. Sometimes people are in a situation where maybe it's nuts. You have to pack up quickly and go when you can. And, those are very difficult stories, but they are real and they are common in this country. And so when you hear all the different countries that were read out today, it takes some time to go over them. But the reality is, I think that is a good reminder to all of us that this is a very strange country, that we can actually have a really good country, and I think the best country in the world. But it's made up of so many different people. So when you think about it, a lot of times you can't even get along with people in your own family, right? So think about it. As a country, we have to get along with each other. So that's why when you become citizens, one of the first things I think you should remember is be involved in this country in the process. There's some good folks in the back. If you haven't registered to vote, that's how you have a voice in this country. You vote, but just don't vote blindly. Learn about the issues, who the candidates are. If your English is limited, there's always community newspapers, and a lot of times now we have the ability to reach out to foreign sources of news too, which will of course have their take on it, which is probably not bad to balance that with our take on things. But the reality is, that's how we as a people can get along. Now, there's a lot of issues in this country. I don't want to give the misimpression. We don't have a lot of countries. And we have a certain amount of divisiveness in this country. But when you put it in the context of how many people come together in this one place to try to get along, it's not that unusual that there would be disagreements. Now, we can maybe tone everything down, but that's part of the process. But please be involved. Learn about the issues, learn about the candidates, and register to vote. Now, having said that, again, the great thing about this country is a lot of freedom. If you don't want to vote, you don't have to. But then think about it. You coming into this place, don't you want to say in what you are, how you live? I mean, a lot of people actually leave other countries because there is no ability to say what you want and to live the way you want. And I can tell you, when I came over the country, I was only 6 years old. And being 6 years old, I learned English very fast. I almost don't remember having to learn English. The only thing I remember is having to go to speech classes quite a bit. Back then, we'd go to speech class for an hour, and then they'd teach us to pronounce words.